Alright, so a few days ago, I purchased the upgraded Wingsland S6 model with postage via DHL. Now, a few minutes ago, I received a text from DHL saying that it was out for delivery today. So, until it arrives, begin epic waiting for drone to arrive montage. Alright, down at the park with the Wingsland S6 hardware upgraded version. This arrived yesterday, but it was super windy when I got here, so I thought I'd wait till this morning. Got down here at 6:30, and it's already windy as hell, so I'm going to fly it anyway, but I'm not sure how it'll go. I guess we'll find out. This thing does have GPS positioning and pretty decent stabilization from what I've heard, but it doesn't have a gimbal on the camera, so I'm not sure how the footage will be. Alright. To boot this thing up, you've probably already seen this on my last video about this drone. I didn't bother doing an unboxing on this because all the stuff that came in the box was exactly the same as the old box that it came in, the old version. So if you want to see an unboxing, just go watch my other video. Okay, quickly before I fly this, a few things that they've changed. I hate all of them. First of all, this. They've put the GPS receiver on top of the battery when it used to be below the battery. The problem is that the way you used to get the battery out is you pull this tab down and then put your finger in the hole at the back and push the battery out. And that worked fine. Now you can't do that. You have to try and pull the battery out like this, and it's infuriating. Now I've found a way to get it out really easily using a little tool that I have. I'll show you how to do that later. Other things I don't like. They've replaced the infrared sensors with ultrasonic sensors. I don't like these because they look incredibly brittle, but I'm sure they have a good reason for doing that. They might be more accurate or something. And one of the things I hate the most about this, there's no longer a lens over the camera. There's no longer a protective plastic cover. It's just a hole and then the camera's there. So if you hit something or if you get some dirt in there, it's going to be impossible to clean it off the lens. On top of that, another thing I hate about this, or I highly dislike, look at the arms. They used to be, on the old version, the arms went straight out, and it looked great. Now, they're all angled back. Now, I was going to suggest maybe that was so that the propellers didn't get in the view, but the propellers already didn't get in the view. So I think they've just done this for the aesthetic properties, and I don't like it. Not at all. Anyway, so let's get to flying this thing. Power up. The default Wi-Fi password that comes with all these drones is 12345678, and we have video. There's not too much lag. I'd say probably about half a second worth. Not too bad. Okay, so time to set the compass and GPS. I've actually got 10 satellites at the moment, so that's fine. Get out of joystick mode. You're going to want to go settings, compass, click to calibrate, yep, and then rotate it until this says calibrated, which is a nice touch. You don't have to look at the drone to see if it's calibrated. It actually tells you on the screen. Okay, done. So we should be ready to fly. Now, unfortunately, with this version, you can't use any of the smart flight settings, so there's no follow me, there's no sort of set path and point navigation. It's only just sort of manual control, but it should be fine. Okay, I will set this to record mode and start recording. Go. Check that out. I'm not touching the phone, that's just hovering, and it is fairly windy out here. It does seem to be rising a little bit. Nope, going back down. Sweet, all right, let's test this thing out. It's not terribly responsive, but I am used to flying racing drones, so... It seems to be fighting the gyro a lot. Alright. Yeah, it is, it's not the easiest to control with the phone, I have to admit. It's very stable though. Like, if I just let go of the controls... Something I'm just a bit worried about is these dogs over there in the background, possibly having a go at it, so... "14 satellites, not bad. Automatic landing, confirm. It's not landing, flying. Okay, I'll do it manually. Try this again. Automatic landing, select. Okay, so the automatic landing doesn't work. Lovely. Looks like I'm gonna have to do this manually. There we go, so landed. I'll stop recording. Now, like I said, none of these smart flight modes are available yet. They will all be released on the 1st of next month, and holy crap, that was close. So like I said, none of the smart flight modes are available yet. They will all be released on the 1st of December. And I will be doing quite a few videos featuring those and testing them all out. But for now, it seems alright. Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm going to show you how to get the battery out of this. Now, anyone who owns a Wingsland mini drone product will know exactly what this is. And this is a little tool they give you when you buy any sort of mini drone they sell for removing the props, because they're quite fiddly and hard to do with your fingers. Now, it works perfectly for removing the battery from this drone. So you have to pull this tab up, or push this tab up, and pull out the battery at the same time. This tool is angled just right, that if you hook it in the back, and push gently on the top, it both lifts the tab and pulls the battery out at the same time. So that again, if you hook it in there and push up gently, pushes the tab up and the battery out at the same time, and you can slide the battery out easily. Anyone who doesn't have one of these, any small flat bit of metal will work. In fact, you might even be able to use the backside of some nail clippers if you have them. Otherwise, a bent knife, I guess. Really, just any sort of flat, bent piece of metal should work fine. I hope they will actually get around to putting a proper way to remove it in, but that works fine for me for now, so I'm happy with that. Now, the list of things that they changed about this drone that I don't like just goes on and on. For example, the little gold contacts on the top here, they seem more recessed and they don't actually line up with the holes properly, which just shows how bad quality this has been made. It also feels quite a bit heavier, and the color of orange of the case isn't as vivid. It seems more faded and sort of almost browny, and I really don't like that. I love the color of the old drone, but this one seems... Yeah, it seems like they've cheaped out on a lot of aspects. Again, it works, which is great. I love it. But also, like another thing, the arms, that's something I noticed the first time I unfolded the arms. They feel a lot looser and quite a bit weaker this time. I'm not sure if they actually changed anything, but there's something different in the build process, and maybe the screws aren't as tight or something, but they just don't feel the same. Also, the blades are a lot harder to lock, it seems. It might just be because they are brand new, but the old blade seemed a lot easier to unfold and fold up. And also just the general body shape. I know that this body is actually slightly different in sort of diameter and length and thickness to the old one. That's why the old sort of clips don't work for the propeller guards. I heard someone mentioning that, but that's not what I'm on about. I'm talking about especially this. It just changes the way the whole drone looks, and I really just don't like it. I wish they'd kept it the same. Again, I'm glad that it works now, but I like the old version better. So, now, for the boot sequence. Once you've unfolded all the propellers and unfolded all the arms, hold the button on the bottom down for about 5 seconds, and the drone will beep and the lights will light up, and you can hear the fan in here start whirring. Put it on a flat, level surface, and wait. After hearing that tone, it has calibrated the gyro. Go to Settings, Wi-Fi, and select Wingsland Air. Now, like I stated earlier, the default password for all these drones is 12345678. But as I've connected to this before, it connects automatically. Then you're going to want to open up your Wingsland app. Go fly. And you should get picture. If you exit joystick mode, go to camera settings, go to little screwdriver and spanner icon, and select the live view quality and change it from 720p to 480p. It will decrease the lag of the camera. So it's only fractional, it's not by much, but it does make a difference. Something I also recommend doing immediately if you're just setting up this drone for the first time, go to camera settings, go to video settings, and go down to EIS, that is Electronic Image Stabilization. Now, I did not have this on the first time I flew it, and I didn't even discover this feature until a few hours later when I was going through the settings. Now, I've already got this turned on, but when you get the drone, it'll be default in off position. Set it to on, or your image is going to be shaky and horrible. The slow motion on this drone can go up to 3 times speed, which is 3 times slower than real life, which I think is pretty cool. Now, for video size and quality, I've got mine set to 4K. 6:9 ratio, and video quality is very good apparently. Normally you would get normal, fine, or super fine, but in this menu it's normal, good, or very good, so I guess that's what happens when you translate it from Chinese. That's all the main settings worth talking about. There are a lot of different things you can do with the camera. There are various special effects you can put on it, make it black and white or various other colors. Unfortunately though, none of the smart flight features located here are available yet. I can't click on the icon. This little triangle and plus icon down here is for the optional accessories for this drone. It is actually usable at the moment. They haven't sort of restricted access to that icon, except that you can't buy the accessories yet. So I don't know why they've even enabled that. To switch from camera to video mode, click this little icon here, and this will go from a white circle to a red circle, and hit record. It'll have a little timer here showing you how long you've been recording for. A neat little feature about this app is it gives you your height, velocity, and distance from the controller down the bottom here, so you can keep track of your drone at all times, which I think is pretty awesome. Up the top of this app, it gives you your battery percentage, Wi-Fi signal strength, the amount of satellites you have, and the flight mode you're in. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of this app is something that I think would be pretty cool if it worked. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get it to work yet, and that is a little radar. It's supposed to show you a little orange blip where the drone is and a little orange triangle where you are. Now, the orange triangle is there, but so far I haven't been able to get the drone to show up on this, so I'm not sure if that actually works. Now, to set the compass on this drone, go to Settings, click on the little compass icon, and click to calibrate. It'll ask you if the drone is on a flat level surface. You say yes. And then it'll ask you to rotate the drone clockwise. Once it's been turned around enough times, it'll say calibration data updating, and it'll ask you to keep the aircraft level. And there you go, calibration's finished. The drone is now ready to fly, and should have a battery time of about 10 minutes. I got mine to fly for about 15 minutes this morning, but I did land a few times in between. I hope this tutorial helped, and if you have any more questions, please put them down in the comments, and I will try and answer them as quick as I can. Now, sometime in the next few days, Wingsland is going to be releasing the full version of this app, and it'll have all the smart flight features enabled, as well as a lot faster flying, so I'll be able to get some actual proper footage with this. At that point, I will make and upload a compilation of flight footage in different areas, different scenarios, and filming with the different settings, so keep an eye out for that video, but for now, that's all from me. Sane Scientist out. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.